in the wake of FILEMAGEDDON, as I call it. 2 Let's Plays bit the dust. One of them was my Heart Gold randomizer, which I'm not too bummed about. We didn't really get all that far, to be fair. But then there's Papa's Hotdoggeria, which was, you know, one of those playthroughs I do. It's one of those playthroughs. These Papa's games are kind of well, it's a series that kind of gets updated very rarely. It just kind of depends if anybody really has time. The longest break between episodes of the series was, I'm not kidding, 7 months. However, give me a second, I'm just doing stuff. However, this one was actually like it came back not so long ago. Actually, it was probably several months ago at this point, and Mikey made a return. But unfortunately he's gone again. So today I'm on my own again. So that's 2 finales in a row that nobody's been around for. Why is it the finale, you may ask? Well, no, I did not go and get everything. I did not go and do everything again. No, unfortunately, we are gonna have to do a yeah, we're just gonna have to end it in very unceremonious fashion. The same happened with Burgery. The file just vanished and that one did not have a backup thing on it, so unfortunately, yeah. So in Takamiya we didn't give our character a funny name, we just kind of mashed the keyboard and like we got Runax Logica or something along those lines. So you see, this right here is what was it? Like, I think it was called Rodney the Clock the last time we were playing it. So as you can see, Rodney the Clock has had a makeover. He looks like the average Joe now. His name is Joety Joason. Wait, Joety Joason. No way, that's not. Joety Joason. Yep. Nope, he'll never be tracked. So yeah, unfortunately we have to start again. But I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to do 1 episode and then that'll be that. Nice and lag, by the way, just saying. Please don't lag, OBS, I swear to God. That's the last thing we need. Let me just check if it... I am really paranoid about this because it happened a few times in Burgeria. If I could edit clips in, I would. Also, since I don't actually technically have an ad block, I don't think, this time around, there's just really annoying Roblox ads to the side, so just ignore those. But yeah, I did actually try it once. Like I decided to play Roblox once to see what it was like, and let's just say that was definitely something. Okay, I don't think it's lagging. It probably is, but like not as bad as it could be. Hot dogs are finished. I'll wait for the prompt. Don't remove hot dogs from the grill during training. That's why all this bad stuff happens to me. It's because I moved the burger on the grill during training ages ago. Anyway, we're gonna there we go, and obviously we have to do it how they. In fact, no, we don't. No, you know what? No, you're getting a large. I don't care. Like, genuinely, no problems. Because this, like, Joety Joason, as he's you know, posing as, did not really intend on coming back, but he just kind of decided to sneak in to sabotage it. Sabotage, and then he's just leaving. Like, he's gonna sabotage the Hotdoggeria and then never come back. So I do have a bunch of notes that I feel like are never going to get used, so I'm just going to use them this time. It was Star Wars I was going to tell. I seem to be good at doing that, actually. You know, okay, I forgot to turn the cheese on. Okay, she somehow likes it. But anyway, yeah, we seem to have, like, me and Mikey have a running trend in these games where all we really do is just tell stories in the past and just discuss, like, stupid laws and dumb things and all that. We don't really have real topics, to be fair, but like it is really funny though to go through these. Like, to be honest, it's a case of I never realised how funny these moments were until we start talking about them. At least when I'm talking with him. Like, when I'm telling him on my own, they're not quite as funny. But anyway, today we're going to be looking at a few. First of all, one of them was when, do you know how teachers get mad at you for no reason? Well, I used to have a friend at secondary school in year 7 and 8. Before I left that school, and like we were almost the same person. Like, for some reason we both liked the same things, which is quite surprising. And it wasn't just a case of everything; it was almost exactly the same. Almost everything I liked, he did too, which was a very rare thing that I don't think has ever happened again. Because he's the only person I've ever met in real life who actually knew what a Sparta remix was, or YTP actually. No, he didn't know what Sparta remixes were, but he knew what YouTube poops were. I think I've also known somebody else who liked YouTube poops as well. But I taught him about Sparta remixes. He was actually making a YouTube poop at one point. Okay, it's definitely lagging, but it's not lagging on the footage, I don't think. He was going to make his own YouTube poop once, where it was basically based off, like, you know, there's all Pokemon Let's Plays, it'll be like a wild this appeared or wild that appeared. He was going to do a wild Chuck Norris appeared, and he didn't get very far, but I remember him telling me that apparently the first thing that came up was wild Chuck Norris appeared, you're fucked. And it was, I don't remember what he was going to put, I think it was like all the Pokemon were going to get one-shot or something. I don't know. It was back when Chuck Norris was still like one of those memes that people used to make. Back when the Chuck Norris jokes thing was like Chuck Norris facts. Like, for example, Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door. He can stand at the bottom of a bottomless pit, and Chuck Norris can I don't know, see John Cena. Yeah, stuff like that. Right. That one that I just made about John Cena was not quite as funny as some of them are. But yeah, it was actually a really good meme, by the way. But yeah, yeah, he was going to make that. He didn't actually finish it though, which is a shame. But I kind of wish he did. It would have been great. I think he gave up making it like halfway through or something. I don't know. But either way, the thing I remember is during The Simpsons, right? There's one part on one of the Simpsons episodes where Homer and Bart start clicking the pens like really fast. Actually, I have a pen here, right? See if you can hear it. They were doing that, right? Just clicking them really fast like that. And, and we tried to, like, we both had clicky pens, and he was like, click pen race, so we started clicking the pens really fast. And the problem was, we got along so well that we would always talk to each other the first and every single chance we got, so we were never really allowed to sit next to each other in class. But, like, this was before we got separated for, you know, talking too much in class. That was really what I got into trouble for most, to be fair. But, like, we just started doing the clicky pen thing, and the teacher got really mad. Like, why did you get mad over that? Like, we could have done way worse things. She was like, right, you, move! She's like, all we did was clicking pens. It was that much of a distraction. They're not even that loud. We can barely hear them. Like, really, what was she, like a bat or something, or like superhuman hearing or something? I don't know. It doesn't really, I don't know. There's also like this one time, you know how in Gloop? Yes, Gloop. In group projects, you always do all the work, and all of your teammates never actually do anything for like the entire lesson, right? Well, I had one of them once, and we were supposed to be doing. I think our topic was something about like global warming and polar bears or whatever. But they didn't do any work. I did all the work, and they just kind of looked at pictures of Sonic. And I tried to get them into trouble once. I was like, "You just look at pictures of Sonic the Hedgehog while I do all the work." And they're like, "Yeah, okay." I was like, "What?" It's really funny because like I did it really badly as well on purpose. Like I did the like there were like we got our own netbooks at the school, our own little laptops that we got, and on them were 5 music tracks by default. All of them were terrible except for one, right? Like there was a very sad sounding piano theme. There was like a really silly sound like a jazz theme, and like something else that I've completely forgotten the other 3. But I put like a bunch of images, like obviously photoshopped images of polar bears, and I just put like the really silly sounding music for like a split second, and then the really sad music for the rest of the video. So it was sad. It was like like, and the teacher actually thought it was great as well for some reason, even though it really wasn't. Although then again, she probably knew I did all the work, so she was trying to make me look really good in front of my classmates who didn't do any work. So, you know, there's that. This work is great. Okay, anyway. It was really dumb, though, like, that time. That was stupid. Like, why? Like, group projects are really annoying. We've never had another group project ever. I've never been in one since then, ever, I don't think. Except for, like, that one time where it was in DT and we were all in a group and we just didn't do it because the teacher literally said don't bother doing any work then, so we didn't. Like one of them got their phone out and started playing Flappy Birds, and we all started playing that because it was still relevant back then. This was like 2013, I believe, or 2014, one of the two. It was kind of weird though. But it was kind of fun though, because we spent the entire lesson playing a game instead. I used to love those lessons in ICT where the teacher was like, you know what, nah, you know, we'll just play games. I remember in PE once we had like this one spell where it was like probably like 5 or 6 weeks straight was just rain, and the teacher surprisingly was not heartless enough to make us go and run a lap outside in the cold, in the rain like he usually would. Instead, we went to the ICT lessons or ICT rooms and were told we could play games, but only sports games. Yeah, that sucks. So yeah, some of them played Happy Wheels. I remember finding this one game that was it was like a football game, but you had to kick the heads off zombies or something. It was really, I never got very far on it though, but it was kind of fun though, to be fair. Like, it wasn't the best, but it'll do. So anyway, today I also have a note that I was going to use as the intro. I was going to say, hey guys, welcome back to Papa's Totally Not Raw Hotdoggeria, or something along those lines. Like, you know how I do. You know, that thing I do. So I do have, do you remember those old those old Uti Sun jokes I would always start the video with? I kind of forgot about them like midway through one of the Let's Plays, and I just kind of stopped doing them. So I have like a bunch of notes that I might as well use now because they're probably never going to get used otherwise. It was a bunch of Uti Sun jokes I was going to use. Like I had Fobberty Fobberson at one point, who was afraid of getting watched. Slobberty Slobberson, who drowned in his own spit. We had some really weird characters, but one of them is called Lawity Lawson, right? And he was apparently my attorney for when I inevitably get arrested for moving the burger on the grill during training. That's also a joke we kind of brought back a bunch of times as well. So yeah, can you imagine that? It's like you just sat there and you moved the burger on the grill during training, and there's like, FBI, open up! Like the FBI just like smashed through the door and arrest me. It's like excuse me, Rodney the Clock, you are wanted for moving burgers on the grill during training. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. It's kind of weird though, isn't it? Move burgers on the grill during training. It's because the game yells at you for trying to do it. On Papa's Burgeria. Another one was Wobblety Wobbleson. He can't stay on his own feet because wobble. Crockety Crockerson is employed by Mr. Roger Rockford's Ludicrous Crocs. I don't think we ever mentioned that on video. Like, apparently this was like a story we had at one point. Mr. Roger Rockford was like this character who would sell Crocs, like, you know, the kind of shoes, the Crocs, except his would be really weird. They wouldn't actually be normal Crocs. They would have something quirky about them. They would eat your feet when you put them on. I know, we're very weird, okay, I'll be honest. But yeah, being weird is fun though. It's a lot better than just being normal. But anyway, so yeah, that's a funny thing we had going on. We also had like Mikey had this idea called the Knit Epidemic. It was like an idea for like maybe a skit or an animation or whatever at one point, where like this guy would scratch his head and then a bunch of knits would fly out with a sound. But yeah, that's kind of funny. And there's also another one which was Excuse Me Sir, where it was I don't know where this came from, but it was like he comes up and goes, "Excuse me, sir," and the guy just goes, "No," or he'd say something like he'd crack his knuckles and go, "How may I help you?" Like it was really kind of funny. One of those weird things that happened at school, like talk about GTA 4 and the cars are all dark, hop hop hop. But anyway, another one is Cobberty Cobberson, arrested for illegally selling corn on the cob. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's probably illegal somewhere. It's illegal to sell corn on the cob on Thursday after 6 p.m. in this specific area. Only on this one specific, one specific stone in the path. Anywhere else is fine. It just sounds like a genuine law somewhere in the world. I've seen loads of dumb laws on the internet. How many of them are true, I don't know. But like, I'd like to imagine all of them are, because really, illegal to walk backwards with an ice cream cone in your pocket, illegal to have pliers in your possession, illegal to eat an orange in the bath. Really? How are you going to get caught? Illegal to look at a moose from a plane, illegal to push a live moose out of a plane. Like, we've discussed quite a few of them in the past. Yeah, we've also got Lobberty Lobberson. Right, this was based off a law we read a while ago. He lived in New York and he was arrested for throwing an old computer across the street at his neighbour. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that was actually I remember that one. We had a laugh about it, about how he can't, like, you're not allowed to throw an old computer across the street at your neighbour. Like, what happens if you're using a new computer though? Like, is that okay? I don't know. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. You know, nothing wrong here. But let's see. What's next? Give me a sec. Okay. See if I can just read my own writing. Okay, so oh, Flobberty Flobberson was arrested for taking a picture of a rabbit between January and April without an official permit. I don't remember where that's illegal, but it's somewhere. We made a joke about David Attenborough's career being ruined because he took a picture of a rabbit at the wrong time of the year in the wrong place. Well, we all have those we all have those jokes where like you hear something funny once and it's just an inside joke forever. We have quite a few of those actually, but yeah, it's mostly just stuff from school and like other stuff that we had. Okay, there's the Flobberty Flobberson one. It was crossed out ages ago. I wonder how old these pieces of paper are. They've been sitting under my pile of games on the side for a long time. That's where I put them. Okay, this one's called Screggy Screggerson puts his nose on people. And also puts his feet on people? I remember this joke. This was a joke that was like going around my school at one point. Back in 2012, before I moved. There was like this joke going around where somebody's a screg if they put their nose or foot on somebody. I have no idea where that came from. And there was like a lot of other words used like sket and scrag and words like that. I have no idea what they mean. So there's that. But yeah, I don't know. They just used all these Italian sausage. But yeah, they use that all the time. I don't know what the hell that is. And that also, something actually reminded me of it not so long ago. When I was ill, like not so long ago, it was like about 2 years ago now. I came down with the flu all of a sudden, especially during the fact it was at exam time, because of course it was. But yeah, basically, when I was well enough to move around the house, I would watch TV in the morning. And one of the TV shows that was always Impractical Jokers, and apparently that seems to have become really big lately. I've seen it all over the place. But yeah, there was like this one time at one point it was like, dude, try to put your nose on people without them noticing. Like he would go around like like a cafe or a restaurant, and he would just randomly put his nose on people. I don't know why. I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. This reminds me of something. Next up, what does this say? Oh yeah, so arts. I don't quite remember where this was. But like I don't quite remember which schools. I think it was secondary. No, I think it was primary actually. There was a girl in our class called Emily, and she really wanted glasses for some reason. I don't know why. She would always like say, "Hey, I want spectacles." Like she wants spectacles, and it became a joke. Like everybody in the class just kept making spectacle jokes. I don't know. It's like primary's a weird time. I mean, to be fair though, I was the weirder kid that nobody wanted to talk to. I don't know. I did have friends though. Kind of. I mean, those kinds of friends. They were not always around. They would always play football. I don't know how this happened, but I kept getting... Like, every now and again... This happened more than once, by the way. I would walk around... Like, basically, because I would never really got anybody to hang around with every now... Like, sometimes... I would kind of play alone. Like, I would just kind of play all the characters in my little show. And it was like a show where it kind of mixed Doctor Who with a few other things, and I played literally every character, so I was basically talking to myself. But yeah, so like I'm not even kidding. I think 3 separate times I was always walking around where the football thing is, and they always managed to boot the thing. It would always manage to hit the side of my head. I don't know how this happened. It never knocked me out ever. And it never caused any real damage, but it's just kind of funny how that happened 3 times. I remember at one point, I actually ended up stopping one of the teams from scoring a goal, and they all praised me like some sort of god for the rest of the week. Like, that was really weird. I don't know why they were so happy at me for that. I was minding my own business. I got smacked in the head by smacked in the side of the head by a football, and somehow that's a good thing. I don't know. There's also something really weird happened once. There was this kid in our class who didn't understand something. He didn't know that Gordon Bennett was a saying, right? Oh, it's Hulk Hogan, brother. This guy's got a Hulk Hogan mustache. But anyway, pinch hit well. God's sake, I hate that name. But yeah, so he didn't know that Gordon Bennett was a saying. So the teacher decided to play a prank on him. This was about the end of year 6, like roughly not so long before the end. And she kept teasing that a new student was coming called Gordon Bennett. And she actually told every single teacher, and they all played along with it. It was brilliant. And eventually, it took ages. It was like, do you know when WWE were waiting to like debut Emelina, but like it never, like it happened ages after they started viewing these, like, airing these vignettes about her. It was kind of like that actually, but like before that, if you know what I mean. And like, it took ages and ages of just like foreshadowing about Gordon Bennett's arrival at the school. And when it finally came to it, we walked into the classroom. There's a dummy, right? Not even joking. There's a dummy sat at the table in the seat next to where this kid sat, 'cause he sat on his own. And like there was a dummy on the table wearing the school uniform with a blonde wig on, right? With a name tag that said Gordon. I'm not kidding. And the kid came into the class and was like, "Oh, this guy's wicked." And I remember in the yearbook, it was like we had a bunch of questions to answer, but only 2 were shown, and one of them was like, one of his was, "What was your favourite moment at the school?" And he said, "Meeting Gordon Bennett, wicked mate." It was incredible how everybody played along with it as well. Like, I can't believe that was actually a thing. Somebody genuinely did this. So anyway, also at school, we had a teacher called Miss Hall, who was actually one of the best teachers there, to be fair, who was always the one that they sent the year 2s down to. She was that kind of terrifying teacher who was only scared of you on her bad side. They're like, these 2-year-olds are acting up. Let's send them to the scariest teacher in school. Let's traumatise these poor children. But yeah, like, she could yell so loudly that you'd hear her on like the other side of the hall. Like the other side of the school, you'd hear her. But basically, this teacher had this look she'd give you if you were misbehaving, where she'd go really wide-eyed and she'd just stare into your soul. So, like, we did this thing where we had two teachers. We had 2 characters meeting. It was I think it was English class, or maybe it was like Big Writing, which was like a spin-off of the class, which was basically just writing stories based off the idea she gave you. That was the most amazing lesson. But yeah, she had like this idea where basically it would just be 2 characters from 2 completely different universes meeting. So one that I don't remember what I did, but one of my friends did Darth Vader meeting Stewie Griffin of all people, and it was really cool. But like I still don't remember what I did. Like it was probably related to Sonic or Mario in some way, or maybe WWE, but I don't know. I don't quite remember. But people used to get annoyed about me by just talking about only that. But yeah, basically somebody did Miss Hall herself meeting somebody, which was kind of funny, and it was like, I don't think it was Miss Hall actually. It was them meeting somebody, and it was like they put like one part that made Miss Hall laugh really loud, and they said, "I do that stare that Miss Hall does." I don't quite remember why. So I do remember one thing about this story though. One time I wrote a story in Big Writing that was so good that genuinely wanted me to print it out. So I did. It was a story that I completely ripped off from the Beano comic about this guy in dinosaur times. And it turns out that he was actually at the cinema, and the person who runs the cinema kicked him out at the end because he was kind of pretending he was in the film, but he was also distracting everybody watching it. It was an idea that I totally did not steal from Let's Pretend. I borrowed it forever, I promise. But yeah, that was kind of funny though. And I actually genuinely printed it out. Another story I remember doing was we had to write a story based off this guy who was looking close. Come again soon. He was looking on on like a holiday website, right? And he would get sucked into the computer and had to find a way to get back home from the holiday location he ended up in. Now everybody did like places they'd been to, like Mallorca and all them. And when I was younger, we always used to go on holiday to the Norfolk Broads, right? So I did that. Like he ended up in Norfolk, right? So like I don't think he bought the boat. I think he stole it, and he kind of like rode along. And do you want to know how he got home? He had to find an anomaly from Primeval. Yeah. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting concept, wouldn't you say? An anomaly. So yeah, I wish I could show that actually. Actually, I can show that. Don't ask me why I'm opening. I don't know why I open an incognito window, but it doesn't really matter. Anomaly. No, that's not how you spell it. Anomaly. Again, I can't spell it. Okay. Anomaly. Primeval. Okay. You had to find one of these. Is that what it looks like? Is that really what? Is that what? I don't remember it looking like that. He had to find this. To get back home or something. It was a really weird story, but it was really well written actually. But yeah. So anyway, customer cravings. So yeah, that was that. Anyway, rip Hotdoggeria. The next Let's Play. Do you think I'd spoil it? Pff, no, totally haven't done that before now. Anyway, the era of raw hot dogs is over, but the evil members will not give up, for we will take over Papa Louie's next restaurant. When will this be done? I don't know, maybe in like 6 years or so.